So this video is on the subject of how to combat Lucifer. And I'm speaking within the context of the Right Use of Will series of books, which I've mentioned in previous videos. There are a series of 8 different books by Sianda Rohan, channeled books that tell the story of creation, essentially, and the story of God and Goddess and the different manifested spirits and all of the both wonderful and terrible things that happen, the various struggles and even wars in the heavens, and the emotional, turmoil that the different aspects of God and the angels and everything are going through. And there are 8 books, and they're very very complex and multi-dimensional, and there's a lot to learn in them. So very briefly, I'll just explain the story of Lucifer. Basically, Lucifer is an aspect of God that in the very beginning of creation, when the original split happened within God, God decided to have this experience of separation for the sake of the contrast, the greater understanding as to what separation was, what that meant to be outside of God and of light and love. And so the male aspect of God denied the feminine, emotional, feeling, loving aspect, the goddess, basically. And Lucifer was a part of God that didn't want to allow the feminine, the goddess, to come back into oneness with God, in short. And so Lucifer is part of God that is very much in denial of the feminine, of feeling, of love. So that's just a very, very short explanation. And so Lucifer is, within this belief system, then Lucifer is a very, very real force. But Lucifer is not, didn't come from somewhere else, and God came from, Lucifer came from hell and God came from heaven. It isn't like that. All consciousness is an aspect of God, but still, Lucifer is a very powerful force that is in contradiction to God and in opposition to love. So I was having a discussion on the Right Use of Will Facebook page, which I recently joined, and there's some very intense people there, and so we were having a discussion about Lucifer, and this one guy was saying, Lucifer has his hands in everything. The New Age movement, the environmental movement, the feminist movement, it's all controlled by Lucifer. And I completely disagree with this. I mean, there are unloving forces throughout humanity to the extent that people can be unloving. Certainly there are grand conspiracies going on of the world elite control system that is manipulating politics, manipulating religion, staging events, creating wars, all this kind of stuff. I believe that there are lots of conspiracies going on. I do not, however, believe or think it is useful to think that, it's everywhere. Everybody's in on it. All the politicians, Osama bin Laden wasn't actually killed, but it's conspiracy by the entire U.S. government. All the members of Congress who saw the pictures of the aftermath after he was supposedly killed, they're all in on it. This is one particular thing that I looked into, and I didn't see any believable evidence that actually supported that idea that Osama bin Laden wasn't killed when he was believed to have been, a couple years ago. But anyways, that's a side note. Who knows? But anyways, this belief, this very suspicious belief that Lucifer has his hands in the New Age movement and the feminist movement, and basically all social movements, and you should be suspicious of everything and everyone. And in my opinion, this is a great way that Lucifer, if you will, or just unloving forces in general, gain control, is by getting you to focus on the beliefs that they're everywhere, waiting to pounce on you at every minute, and that you have to therefore be vigilant and constantly looking for where Lucifer may or may not be, where he may or may not be hiding, ready to manipulate you and gain influence over you. This focus brings you into an unloving, fearful state of being. The best way to combat Lucifer or evil, lack of love, is not to combat, period. The best way is to love yourself. By loving yourself, you surround yourself with love, and you are therefore going to repel lack of love. Creating a worldview of being focused on evil and the devil, and trying to figure out who is aligned with the devil and who isn't. And this to me is a very sort of black and white, fear-based worldview that takes the joy out of life, and the fact that there is beauty, there is much beauty in the world. Here, I'll give you an example. Now, I could be worrying myself, wondering which of these trees might be aligned with Lucifer and which ones are aligned with God, and I should make sure not to sit under any of the Luciferic trees, because then they'll be beaming with me with their Luciferic energy and influencing me, and blah blah blah. I think that there are most definitely unloving, nefarious, evil forces in the world. But something to keep in mind is that even these forces come from God. And perhaps they are beyond hope at this time, and you shouldn't have anything to do with them, and perhaps not. People who, can seem, very, very lost and swayed by lack of love. If you relate to them from a place of love, sometimes you can find that spark of goodness within them and change a person's life. Or just come to a greater perspective yourself on your preconceptions and judgments about someone that turns out you were wrong about, rather than this projection, this constant projection of, there's evil out there and where is it, and I have to be constantly looking for it so it doesn't get me. Radiate love. Seek to find the goodness in humanity in everyone you can. The best way to repel unloving energies is to simply be love and radiate love, and unloving energies don't want to be around that, and they will go the other direction. So don't waste your time and energy trying to combat evil forces. Just be the opposite, and look for love in the world, and beauty and fun and joy, and you will definitely find it, because there is lots to be found in this world. There is lots of beauty. There is lots of there is love in this world, and be that transformation instead of expending your time and energy here trying to fight the devil. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.